stay hungry. Definitely stay hungry. Do not get comfortable. Like, there's always room for improvement, whether that means, say you got the meanest wave and the meanest popping lock. Work on that. Build off of it. Figure how you can hit it in a different place, move it in a different area. Like, always stay hungry.
Yeah. YZK, so for real.
We are back in the SpeakUp Podcast studio. We got another very, very special guest, and I'm very excited about this one. Yes. I'm going to introduce her a little bit. She is an aspiring professional dancer, and she is a model, y'all. Yes, a model. Yeah. Jasmyne Chantel, she's in the building.
Hey, it's Jasmyne Chantel. I'm here.
Yeah, man. So tell the people a little bit about you, what you do, where you from, like, let them know.
Okay, so I am from Palm Beach. I am a dancer, also a model, getting into acting as well. That's soon to come.
Hey.
So, I've been a professional dancer for a few years now. I decided to take my career seriously, like my junior year, going into my junior year of college. I decided to take it seriously.
So how long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing since I was like 5.
Okay. So like, what's like your earliest memory of dancing?
Earliest memory probably be my mom put me in dance class very young, and I started in ballet. Like, I started with ballet, jazz, and African dancing.
Okay, that's what's up.
And then I was introduced to hip hop, and I said, "Oh yeah, take me out, take me out."
Forget all of that ballerina stuff.
Yeah.
So what about like hip hop dance got you like loving it so much? Like what about it?
So with ballet and everything else, it's so strict.
Okay.
Like, you have like certain movements, and like for me as a child, I was bored. Like, I can't even lie.
Well, that kind of does make sense.
I love dancing, but I kind of do regret giving it up a little bit and just wishing I had like more technical training, like looking back on it. But at the time,
right,
as a child, like, I got really bored just doing the same stuff every day. And when I got introduced to hip hop, everything was so free. Like, you can throw any move, anything, any type of style, any type of dancing, and it's whatever you feel like. Whatever the music tells you to do is what you're going to do. There's zero judgment of anything.
Let me ask you this: so, like, Afrobeat, is that hip hop, or is that something else?
It is in a way, kind of.
Okay,
it is hip hop, but it's more Afrobeat is like the type of music.
Oh, okay. So it's not like the movement; it's more the rhythm of the beat. It's more like,
because hip hop is very open.
Okay.
So it's like I know Jamaicans have dance hall. That's what you call it. So I guess but you can put like dance hall in hip hop, if that makes sense. Or
okay. No, that makes
vice
sense.
versa. So Afrobeat, in a sense it would be called, but it's more like a genre.
Okay. So it's like a smaller subset, but like hip hop could be anything.
Hip hop is general.
It could be anything.
Anything.
Okay. So you started dancing when you were 5. Yeah. And so when did you realize, like, okay, I'm a dancer, this is what I do? Like, when was that for you?
So growing up, I did like a lot. Like, my mom had me in dancing. She had me in soccer. I was doing track in high school. So really for me, it was when it's funny.
She was like, you gonna be doing something. You're not gonna be home.
Yeah, my mom kept me busy. Like, she did not play. So it was really in high school when I was doing track. I was running the 400.
You were a quarter horse?
Yeah.
What?
I was a 400 runner.
Oh my, that's the hardest race in any.
For sure.
Oh my God. I know you were a quarter horse. What?
Yeah.
My God.
I was a 400 runner, and I remember my coach. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you into an 800 runner." I said, I was like 800. Sir, I barely like running the 400, and I only run this because y'all tell me to.
Nah, that 400 a different animal.
Yeah, and I was running that since middle school. So I've been like running the 400, and I was good at it, so they kept me in it. And when he said run the 800, I was like, I don't know about that one. So he had me run it, and after I ran the race, I was like, yeah, no, I don't like running that much. I'm gonna stick to dancing.
It was either that or dancing.
Exactly. For me, it was either that or dancing. So I was done with running, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna focus on dancing.
So that's when you knew that you were a dancer, or that's when you knew like you wanted to you know what I mean? Like when?
That's when I knew it was my passion.
Oh, okay.
That's when I knew like I love dancing, because for me to do something and like actually put my all into it, I have to love it.
Right.
So running for me, like it was a like I'm here because I like to do it.
Gotcha.
A love for it. I knew I didn't love it when he said, "Jazz, you gonna run this 800?" Who?
Not me.
Not me.
I'm gonna go dance.
I was like, "Yeah, coach. Thank you for everything, but
okay."
I know.
So it was like around, I guess, the high school period is when you kind of like made that choice. And you've been dancing ever since. Yeah,
dancing a lot more than I was. I've always been dancing, like through every school that I went to, I was on the dance team. And damn, now that I think about it, every dance team that I was on, I had like a captain position. Yeah.
Yes. You're a leader of the pack, man. Leader of the pack. That's what's up.
Only time I didn't was in college, because I decided to be the media specialist. We had an e-board, and I just wanted to control like the social media aspect of it.
In college. So what dance group were you a part of in college?
So college was Post Dance Troupe.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Post Dance Troupe. And
yes,
Post
I've heard so much about them.
Post, they really helped me find my love for dancing to make it into a career. They were the ones who really like molded me to like, you know what? Maybe this isn't just a hobby for me. Maybe this isn't just, something to clear my mind off of everything that's going on. This is something I can see myself making money with and being happy for the rest of my life.
Right. Nah, Post snaps. Anytime I see snapping.
Post was with the moves. That's what's up.
Wait, how long did you dance with Post? Was it every year high school? Or, I mean, not high school, college?
Yeah.
Every year college?
Yeah, since I got there until I graduated, freshman year to senior year, 4 years.
How was that experience? Like what, I figured you already said that they kind of taught you the business aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Was there anything else that kind of changed, or was that kind of like the only thing? I know like, especially being at that level and then being around those people who are kind of at that level as well. It's not just a hobby anymore. They're like doing it.
They definitely taught me structure with dance and how to like hip hop is a free movement dance, but they taught me to take it more seriously. So that meant like, you not only have to do the moves, you have to perform. You have to be clean. You have to look as one unit. Like it's everything. That there's so many elements to a performance that goes into it. Like it's not just you go on stage and you dance. It's like you have to have the facials. You have to make sure that if the choreographer says your hair needs to be here, it is here and not down below. Right. So it's like you need to make sure that you have everything that the choreographer or that the piece needs to make sense to the audience.
Like that control chaos almost.
Exactly. Like if it's a chaos, it better look like a good piece of disaster.
Right.
So it's like nothing is ever really like, I'll just go up there and just do it. Like everything is planned. I promise you. Even from the freestyle, like you hear the music. Yeah, it's a freestyle, but you know what beat you're going to hit when you hear the music. You know what is going to come. Right.
And you touched on something that I kind of want to hit on as well. You were saying that you kind of lose yourself in the music. Is it kind of therapeutic to you?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. So like when I'm going through anything, it could be I'm happy, sad, mad. I'm dancing. You'll always find me dancing, whether it's me just doing a little jig. I do, like, people always point out, like, somebody just pointed out that, like, Jazz, you always dance when you eat. I'm like, I do.
That's her happy place.
No, I swear, every time I'm eating, I'm doing, like, a little jig.
That's the happy place, yeah.
Like, and I don't even notice it. And I remember one time I was in the store with my mom, and there was a cart. It was, like, making a weird noise. And I was dancing. And she was like, there's no music. Are you dancing to the cart? I said, no, Ma, I got a song in my head.
Hey, it's in you. It's
like,
in you.
When it's in you.
Yeah, when it's in you, it's in you, man.
Yeah, honestly, and it is very therapeutic for me. It helps with anything. If I just need to go away for a quiet place, clear my mind, I will turn on some music and just let my movement
just hang out, chill. Yeah, I love that because even when like I'm playing basketball or something, it gives me something else to focus on, give me a release.
It gives a lot of clarity.
Like people don't realize how much like physical activity helps you. It just like shakes off all that stuff. It changes your mindset completely. Mm-hmm. Like I'll be thinking about something before I work out and then be thinking about it completely different.
Yeah, because it's like you release so much when you do like physical activity. Yeah. So I feel like that's what it is. And it's like don't let it be a song that's pertaining to what I'm going through in life. Oh, different type of emotion.
Man.
Okay.
No, definitely. And especially watching Post, you can feel that emotion coming off of them.
Mm-hmm. One thing about Post as dancers, we were very passionate about what we did.
For sure.
Yeah,
And like every performance, it was never just, oh, we got a performance, we're just going to perform. Like everything it was passion for us. It was joy.
So tell me a little bit about the behind the scenes. It was like bumps and bruises and stuff like that. How is that? How's that life?
Okay, first of all, when I tell you Post put blood, sweat, and tears into these showcases, I'm not even going to lie to you.
Man.
There have been some tears, some blood, because you done got a rug burn on the carpet.
I know y'all feet be hurting.
For sure.
And look, the sweat was relentless. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Like it was crazy. Preparing for showcase was a lot. Like our showcase used to be in like April. You start preparing from January, maybe even December. That's how long we prepare for showcase.
What is that, like 7 months? Am I tripping?
Right.
December, January. No, like 5. Maybe December, January.
I was close.
Yeah, like 5.
That's a long time, even though, like,
It is a
wow.
long time. So it's like, can you imagine like making up choreography from January and then have to keep practicing it just to remember it by April, and then by the end of April you have like a hour and a half long show.
Right.
You know how many pieces we had to make up?
Man, I don't know how y'all do it, man. But you can tell the amount of work that goes into it.
It was a lot
Yeah.
of work, because you even have the behind the scenes aspect of you need to get the costumes together.
Oh my God.
Once you get the costumes, you need to work on the lighting.
Right.
And then I was in charge of the mixes. So not only was I helping make the dances, I was learning the dances. I had to cut the music.
Oh, you was DJ too?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Doing everything. Run off the stage, go scratch, come back on
Yeah,
the
like
stage.
sometimes I couldn't even practice because I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm getting the music ready for y'all because we need to hear like the transitions.
Right.
When stuff changes. If I put a sound effect in there, how that gonna work? We need to count out each like movement of
So
transition.
much.
It's just a lot.
That's a lot. So after college, right? I'm guessing you had that thought process of you're going to continue to do this. What was that next step after college for you?
Let me tell you how I went through that. So
Yeah.
I got my degree in communications and I got a minor in dance. Because when I first came to college, I didn't plan to. Because my father, I really am big in what he like approves of and what disapproves of. There was 2 things I wanted to be when I grew up. It was a dancer or a veterinarian because I loved animals.
Those are totally different. Okay.
It's very different.
Whole
So it was
different
like
ballgame.
dance was like my hobby,
Right.
but like as for a job, like I really wanted to help animals.
Now you dance with animals. No.
No.
Hey, that's a good combination.
It might be, but I have a dog and dancing with him is it's very difficult.
No,
to
not
dance
with a
him.
dog. No.
Not with a dog. Maybe.
So for my parents, it was very realistic for me to, be a vet because you can always dance. Like that's always a hobby.
Right.
And my dad's big on education. So it's like, say I'm dancing and like I hurt myself, what I'm going to do after that. So he was really big on like that. He wasn't too much keen on the whole dancing idea. When I went to high school, I was in the pre-vet program. And then that's when I got into FAU. I started with a bio degree and everything. And it was after my sophomore year was when I realized like, I don't like this.
This ain't it. This ain't it.
It ain't it.
It's not it.
Why am I here?
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to still aim to get my degree, but I'm going to put a little bit more work into dancing and see like what I can do. That's when I started to do my career and take it more seriously. That's when I found an agency down here.
So that was after you graduated?
This is before. This is leading
Okay.
up to it. So I found an agency, started doing a little bit here and there, and then I was still focused on school, so I graduated. And it was when I graduated when I started looking for jobs and stuff because I'm like, I need something to support myself.
Gotta get money, yeah.
Gotta get money.
You got this
some way,
degree
somehow.
now.
Exactly. Might as well put
Gotta
it to
pay
use,
for it.
right?
Yeah.
First of all, PostGrad Depression is real.
Oh,
Okay?
no, for sure.
Yo,
For
it's
sure.
definitely a thing.
It's so real, and it hit me bad. Like, it hit me bad.
Could you explain what post-grad depression is? Or what was it for you?
Well, for me, I would just be at the house, I would not want to do anything. Like, it was just a very sad time for me, and everything just bothered me because I just was not where I thought I would be after graduation.
Right.
And
That's
it hit me hard that, like, there was times I would cry because I'm here applying for job after job after
Right.
job.
Yep.
And no one's getting back to me. Like, no one wants to hire me, or people are getting back to me and they want to underpay me.
Right.
Like, I should not be getting the amount that they were giving for when I have a degree.
Right.
It's like, what did I go to school for?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I was like, this isn't how I
This
thought
ain't it.
Like, this
Nope.
is not it. Like, so that's when I thought, like, what do I want to do?
Right.
And the opportunity to go to California, like, I've been talking about California for the longest. You can ask any of my friends. I'm here showing them videos. I'm like, I'm going to be here at the playground. Like, I'm going to be dancing in the back with the play in the back behind me. So that's when I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go chase this dream. Like, I have to make it happen. Like, I'm young. Right now, I don't have a job holding me down where I can't go to California. I have the opportunity, like, the opportunity just presented itself. Like, thank God that it did. So I hopped on it, and I've been on go ever since.
Man.
Yes.
Like,
That's so
That
exciting.
is so what's up.
Wow. So you graduated, you were kind of lost.
Very
You
much.
couldn't figure out which way to go. And then this magical God was like, here you go. And just kind of set you on your path. Man.
So
That's pretty
I'm
cool.
going back this Saturday to continue.
Yeah. So, okay, when you doing that whole process, it's scary, I'm sure. So, like, what was kind of like the plan to go? Or, I mean, even what was the opportunity that led you to go?
Well, my friend, she actually did a competition to get into a training program.
Okay.
To get into Creative Minds Dance Academy over there. And she was going. And I was like, yo, that's so dope. I was like, I would go with you if I could. I'm just talking out my ass. Okay?
Right. Speaking things into existence.
Right.
I was not serious. I was broke.
I was like, all right.
All right, you
I
sure?
was broke. So then she came back and she was like, Jazz, were you serious? I was like, huh? What do you mean? Was I serious? I was like, I think.
My dreams? What
I was like,
what-
sure? What do you mean? So, like, she came back and she was like, yeah, I have, I have a place to stay for us. If it's situated, I just, I don't want to go alone. Like, slide. I was like, okay, it's cool. So I went over there and I just immediately, like, I hopped into class, and that experience, like, class over there is like, it's amazing. It's like no other, just the atmosphere. Like, you around people who are just as hungry as you.
Right.
That, like, that feeling is crazy. And so I went to class, started networking, meeting people, and then I even started submitting to agencies, and I didn't hear back. So I went over there in September. I got a call from an agency in October. Stuff just started happening. I was like, whoa. And then around that time, I also got into the same training program that she got into. What? Right, like I'm...
What?
So we both started training together. I got my agency, and then it was time for me to come back home because we originally planned to be over there for like 2 months. It wasn't like, for me, it was like, let me see if I even like it.
Right.
Because I've never been this far away from family.
That's a big step.
For sure.
That's a big step.
That's on the
Look,
other side.
I've never been to that was my first time going to California.
Yeah.
And the first time I went was for 2 months. So it was like, it was
crazy.
It was
I'm here,
like,
now what?
I instantly just hopped up and was like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey. So then came back home for like 3 months. I went back to LA towards the end of January, and it was instantly back to the grind mode.
Yeah.
So also I even got a job when I was there the first time. So by the time I came back, I had a job there waiting for me.
That's what's up.
When I tell you I was putting in work when I was the first time I went, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was trying so hard. So I went back, and my agency immediately started throwing auditions at me. So I was going to auditions. Work was back. I'm an aftercare counselor over there, so I had my kids, and I was free during the day and training at night, Monday, Wednesdays, and then class whenever.
Grind. So you touched on agency. Like, what's the process of even getting an agent?
So there's a lot of different process. I have an agency in Florida. For her, I auditioned.
Okay.
Like, I auditioned for her. But for my agency in LA, I just submitted through the website because I didn't, like, normally they have auditions, like open auditions, and they have like a choreographer there that comes and teach you, or you can just submit. I just did the submitting route because they weren't holding any auditions or anything.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And I think by the time I left, they were. So it was just easier for me to submit.
Mm-hmm.
And by the grace of God, they called me back. She liked me.
Like that, man.
My agent liked me.
So did anything special come from, I guess, that agency or being there that was kind of like, that surprised you? Well, I guess you already went through a bunch of stuff that surprised you. Was there anything else?
What surprised me the most had to be finally getting the opportunity to do what I love and getting a taste of that. Because one of my goals is to be booked and busy. Like, I just want to get to a point where I'm constantly booked. So, like, I'm building that up and, like, still building connections and getting out there. Because when I tell you this industry is all about who you know, somebody will choose to work with somebody who they know is a good worker, a good dancer, can do what they can, versus somebody who they just seen in an audition. Right. Like, a lot of people rather use people they know than have auditions.
Because you know them. It's fun to work with them.
Exactly. You know what they can bring to the table. You don't have any worries. You already know. Maybe my biggest thing was seeing how much I could make in one day.
That money.
I was like, and I had fun doing it. Right. Okay. I can do this. Right. So I just want more of that.
So what's kind of like your next step going forward? I know you're going back soon. Like, what's kind of your mindset or is there anything specific that you're trying to do when you get back?
In life for me, I realized that when you have a plan, sometimes it doesn't always work out.
If that's not the truth.
So I try not to have a set plan because I'm really big on setting goals and like making sure I knock them down. But I also can easily get disappointed in myself if I don't make it happen. Right. So I try to keep an open mind, and what I've been doing is, so I've been training on dancing, going to training, going to classes, working on that. I model, so I'll have shoots, take pictures with whoever. I'll try new concepts, do whatever I can, and just to build more content, make my portfolio bigger. And I also got into acting. So I take acting classes now, and I'm on the path of whichever one takes off first.
Going with the flow.
I am going to work on each and every one of these things.
Triple threat, yeah.
Whatever takes off first, I will go with, because if that's the case, whatever takes off first, the others will follow.
Right. You're going to build off each other.
Exactly.
Right. And when you go up there, you're not going by yourself, though. You're going with the same...
yeah, I'll still be with Mariah. We actually just got approved for an apartment.
Nice.
Yeah, everything is just falling into place.
This is definitely what's made for you.
Everything is just falling into place, and like it's kind of nerve-wracking at the same time, but
it's literally your dream.
Yeah,
it's your dream. It's
and
your
everything
thing.
Is just working out. So I just thank God so far for everything.
What's the biggest like opportunity you've gotten since there? Like something that you got that you were just like, whoa.
I didn't expect to get this Chris Brown video.
Listen, I was waiting for you to talk about it all night. Let's get into it. She was in what song was it again?
No Guidance by Chris Brown.
Yes,
Drake.
And the all red. She was on red side.
Yeah, I was on the winning team. Okay. So yeah, I didn't expect to get that, and I actually got that as soon as I landed in Florida. Like, he shot it in Miami. And I flew in July 2nd. As soon as I got off the plane, I had to go to the shoot. Like, I had no time. And what was even worse was my luggage was left in Boston. So I had no clothes. So can you imagine that?
Oh, my God.
I thank God that the makeup artist and the stylist was nice enough to do my face and give me clothes.
Man, yeah.
That junk was crazy, but the video shoot was awesome. I loved working. Like, Chris Brown's one of my idols. I dreamed
dancing ass nigga.
Forever of meeting him. Like, when I tell you I didn't expect to meet him so soon in my career. Yeah. I figured give me 2 years, I'm with Chris Brown, but no.
Give me 2 months.
Like 2 months and I'm here. But it's still my dream to dance with him. Right. So I'm still working on that. But the fact that I met him was just enough for me at the moment.
Closer.
I was like, oh my God.
Right.
That's amazing. And you have an amazing story, and I feel like it's going to get even crazier as it goes.
I'm so excited to see the journey.
It might get bigger.
I know it's going to be some ups and downs, but as long as you get through the downs, man, I'm sure it's going to be sky.
It's going to be crazy. I can imagine it.
So in closing, if somebody was trying to become a professional dancer, what would be kind of like your number one motivation or your number one tip for them?
Number one tip, stay hungry. Definitely stay hungry. Do not get comfortable. Like, there's always room for improvement, whether that means, say you got the meanest wave and the meanest popping lock. work on that, build off of it. Figure how you can hit it in a different place, move it in a different area. Like, always stay hungry and grow. Like, you can grow so many different ways in dancing. Like, no matter what you do.
Man. Amazing story.
Amazing.
When you big and famous and stuff, you got to come back and do the podcast.
I would
all
never
right?
forget y'all.
Don't forget me, man, when you all the way up there.
When you up there.
Just throw me a little bone. Just say a couple words. Say a couple words. Man, but I really do appreciate you coming on and spending this time with me.
Thank you for having me.
It was an amazing story, amazing interview, and I know you're going to add value to somebody's life.
Thank you.
And thanks for speaking up.
Yes.
Yeah. YZK, so. For real. Hydrogen and carbon becoming a star. You mix helium and oxygen, it's what we are. See, I stopped playing to say, came back with a vault. Raising pressure on these niggas like they eating salt. Ill, never been the one clutching a steel, but I got hitters for real. Told me to focus on your dreams.